Hey, it's Christiane Knight checking in with you, my lovely followers. I thought it might be fun to do a quick video update. I haven't written out anything I'm going to say, so who knows where this will go. First of all, I wanted to update everyone about the progress of Cast a Shadow of Doubt. If you've been paying attention, you'll know that that is my sequel to In Sleep You Know, and it should be out in February of 2022. This time the story is focusing more on Lucy and her dealings with the Fae, and Cullen. Merrick will show up too. Also, Valley gets a nice big part in this story. I don't want to give away too much, but it's exciting. It's set in the summertime, so there's some different things happening that did not happen in Sleep You Know. And I'm just really excited about it. It was so much fun to write. So much fun. You might be surprised by some of the things that happen. It has recently gone off to the editors to get checked out, and I'll keep posting updates about the progress of the book. If you're interested in how a novel is written by a self-published indie author, I can write some blog posts about that process because it's pretty interesting. There's a lot more work involved than I realized when I first started In Sleep You Know. I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was going to cost some money, and I knew there was some work that went into it, but I didn't know all the little details. It's really fun because you get to control every aspect of your book, from the cover to the layout to the editing choices that you want to make. Just everything, really. How you market it, where you market it. It's all up to me. And I find that really refreshing. I'm not a control freak, but I like having my hands in. I like knowing that my success or failure is my fault or my triumph. So it's fun for me to do this, and I really enjoy sharing the process because there are so many people like me last year who had no idea what was going on, how that happened. A lot of people really don't know about the publishing industry and how it works, whether it's self-published or indie published or big publishing house published. I obviously can't speak on big publishing house or even indie publishing, but I can tell you a little bit about it because I've learned a lot in my time doing this. It's really fascinating. So I'll write some blog posts about that coming up soon because that's going to be my life for the next couple of months. I have started on story number 3. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a novel or a novella. Novels for me are 120 words, 120,000 words. 120 words. That's a really, really short novel. 120,000 words. It can really vary from genre to genre and also author to author. Some authors write shorter novels, some, especially in fantasy, some authors write much longer novels. I like my pace to be kind of a medium pace, but I don't want it to drag too much, and I don't want you to feel like is this book ever going to end? Pacing is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I work really hard on the pacing of my books to make sure that there's always something drawing you forward and that you can, based on like how I like to read, if I have to break it up a chapter at a time. I'm a very quick reader. I read stupid fast. But for most people, I think it's like 8 pages is about, if they're going to go further, then that's cool. But if you have to like squeeze in some reading, 8 pages is a good place to hit. So my chapters run a little more than 8 pages, but they're usually pretty digestible in one go. So you can chapter it off at a time if you want. One of the things I'm working on, actually, this is pretty cool. I started making a little searchable index of people, places, and things for my readers because there's a lot of names, there's a lot of places, there's some names that are unfamiliar to people, and sometimes I get a lot of questions too about how to pronounce things. If you catch me on one of my live readings or recorded readings, sometimes that'll give you clues. But I've been trying to put together some of the pronunciations in here too, so I'm compiling that. It'll show up on my blog, or on my website. I guess not exactly the blog page. I'm making a special page for it. Putting that together has been interesting. I don't like writing spreadsheets or databases, but I've had to do both to do this, and I'm not thrilled yet with the way it looks to presentation wise, but I wanted something that was searchable, so that's kind of that's limited me a little bit. I should have it up in the next week or two, so look for an announcement about that. It's been really fun. It's actually handy for me too because there's a lot of people to keep track of and a lot of details. I've talked before about how I track my details. I use Trello boards and copious amounts of notes, but having all that in one place is really great, both for me and for readers. I mean, you read a book and then you go back and you're like, who was that person? What was their affiliation? I've got all that. At least a quick gloss, and it's going to be, when you look at it, it'll be when they're introduced. So if things develop down the road, I don't like spoilers, so that won't be included. You'll just have to figure it out from there on, but at least you'll know who they are. Let's see what else is happening that I can tell you. NaNoWriMo is going on right now. I don't know if you're watching this. Do you do NaNoWriMo? Fun fact, actually, In Sleep You Know was finished as a NaNoWriMo book last year. I had the concept fleshed out in the beginning parts a long time ago. And I came back to it for Nano and rewrote the first part and then took off from there and banged out that book. It was really nice because since I had a long time to marinate the concepts of it, it came together pretty quickly. Cast a Shadow of Doubt, actually, the whole plot line for that book was brand new. I didn't have any notes at all for that to work off of, and it actually came together about as fast as In Sleep You Know, which was really amazing. This current book that I'm working on for this year's Nano, as I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be a novella or an actual novel yet. It'll tell me what it wants. It all depends on how much space the story needs to be told. But this is another one that I had a couple of germs of story ideas in my pocket. And it's actually two different story ideas that I've taken and put together and changed quite a bit. I mean, like, the character changed substantially from my original notes. But this is kind of interesting for the writers out there, or for people who are interested in how writers write. I keep everything. I have huge notebooks full of all kinds of ideas that I've had. And sometimes the ideas are really great, but you're not in the right headspace to write them. It's just not the right time, you're not in the right place. But when you keep them, and then you revisit through your notebook, sometimes something will pop out and you'll know it's the time. That's how it was with these two story germs. It just popped out. It was the time to write it. Currently, this story is also interesting because I'm writing it from a first-person perspective, which is different than both In Sleep You Know and Cast a Shadow of Doubt, which are they're more traditionally perspective. You've got me as your guide through things, and you get into different characters' heads more. This, you're going to be in one character's head all the way through. So that's a little different and really fun to write. It's a lot harder to write a first-person perspective over an extended period of time like this. It keeps me on my toes, which is really fun. I like challenges, and I'm really enjoying this story. It's a little bit different in feel than my other two books are. So, but you're not going to see that for a while, I'm sorry. But I'm sure I'll keep talking about it, and you'll get to hear a little bit more about what it's about later on down the road. For now, it's a baby book. It's just starting, so we like to leave it alone and let it grow on its own. Really, that's about it news-wise. should have some hints about what the cover of Cast a Shadow of Doubt will look like soon. I will make some blog posts giving everyone updates, as I said, about the progress of putting the book together. And if you have questions about what I do, how it works, what Cast a Shadow of Doubt will be about, I mean, I'm only going to tell you so much, but if you have questions about characters, or you have suggestions about what you'd like to see in my little database, my searchable database of characters and places and things, let me know. Hit reply here, and if you ask a question, I will get back to you. Before I go, 2 things I'd like to bring up. One, if you'd like to help me promote what I do and get some background access to stuff that other people don't see, including the possibility of reading a preview copy of Cast a Shadow of Doubt, with the intention, hopefully, of leaving me a good review on Amazon or Goodreads or wherever you happen to hang out book-wise, you can actually sign up for that. I have a street team. It's called the Fae Council, and I will, for the efforts that you give me for helping to get the word out, I will give you lots of fun perks, including really exclusive access, even more than people who support me on Ko-fi do, which is a lot, because on Ko-fi, you can ask me anything. I'll show you all kinds of cool stuff that nobody else gets to see. You'll get to see and all that and more. Fae Council Street Team, basically what you do is you go on social media and say, hey, have you read In Sleep You Know? This is a book that I like a lot. This is my favorite book. I mean, obviously, maybe not your favorite book. It's my favorite book. But you tell people to check out my work. You post links. If you're a person who does fan art, you could post your fan art with, the characters. Just basically, you're there to get the word out, to remind other people that I'm out here and my books are out there, and just gently throw it out there, and leave reviews, things like that, as you pick up the books. It helps me. Every mention on social media helps me. And it's not just me. You can do it for other authors too, but obviously I'm hyping up my street team, but for authors in general, if you mention on Facebook or Twitter or on Instagram, you've got this book, here's the link to the book, I really liked it, this is why. You help authors so much. You have so much power to do that, because it's an organic link. It's an organic recommendation. It's not like me saying, hey, I'm selling this book. People respect those more, and also the algorithms respect it more, and it'll get more hype. Really, and it doesn't cost anything, so that's really helpful for me, and it makes it so that I can pay my bills and write more books for you. Win, everybody wins. So if you would like to join the Fae Council, I don't ask much of people. I want it to be fun. I don't want it to be like, get out there and promote my book. I'm not like that. You can sign up for the Fae Council on my website, which is ChristianeKnight.com. If you look for the link across the top, Fae Council's up there, and, Street Team, just click on that. There's a little form to fill out, and then I'll email you back, and we'll have a chat about what you might like to do and what I've got coming out soon that I can hook you up with. I also have a Facebook page for it. Group for it, where we could talk about stuff. I'm just getting started with the street team, so you'll be the first in, which means you'd be first up for anything cool, like advanced reader copies of books and stories, and giving me advice on things, what you want to see, what you like, the fun art that I make, the stupid little Canva mock-ups of my characters and places and stuff like that. I like to build a world, so I share all that with you, because I don't put a lot of it out in public, and some of it is dumb. You get to see my dumb art. The other thing I wanted to talk about was something. Wow, my brain just went boop, it's gone. It's really gone. Welcome to the world of brain fog. This is how it works. If I don't have it written down, sometimes it just goes by. Anyway, I'm sure I'll think of it later and I'll put it in a video. Dang. I'll tell you what. I'll think when I think of it, I'll put it in the comments with this video because it's not coming back. It's gone. Welcome to the world of my wacky brain. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thanks for watching and thanks for your support, really. It's been fantastic. It's been great to be able to write books and have people get excited about them and share with their friends and have their friends come and say, hey, so and so brought me here and I love what you're doing. More Fae in the world. That's what we need. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Christiane Knight saying bye.